I think what the basic picture that is going on across the U.S. economy, and particularly the asset markets, is that despite the fact that inflation remains elevated compared to the Fed's mandate, the Fed has chosen basically to aggressively cut interest rates. Over the course, they've signaled that they're going to aggressively cut interest rates over the next couple of years. And I think Chairman Powell said, essentially there's only one path, one direction of interest rates ahead, and that's down. You think about that in the context of an economy that continues to have lots of inflationary pressures within it, both in terms of just the headline number that the Fed is managing policy to, which is, core PCE remains above the Fed's mandate, but also all sorts of elements under the hood of inflationary pressures that remain. You ask small businesses on Main Street, what is your primary problem? It's not sales. It's not, ability to find labor. It is inflation. That is unambiguously the case. It is inflation is their biggest problem. And so the Fed engaging in an aggressive easing cycle when that's occurring is certainly, it's an unusual set of behaviors from a central bank. And it's the sort of behaviors that would typically cause bond yields to rise, despite the fact that the Fed is cutting on the short end.
Hence the big bet by Druckenmiller. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Well, so Bob, the dollar just keeps going up. Usually moves of this magnitude carry some kind of intelligent narrative that validates the policy or economic development that's taking place, but not this one. Is it a foretell or something that something is getting ready to occur? In your analysis, what's going on here with this move by the dollar?
Well, I think everyone looks at the dollar relative to other fiat currencies. And when I'm looking at the dollar, what I'm seeing is that the dollar is actually going down, which is a bit of an odd non-consensus view. And the reason why it's going down is because it's going down against gold, right? And so, sure, the dollar's up against the yen, and it's true that U.S. conditions are better than the terrible malaise that Japan continues to experience, but when it comes to how is the dollar performing relative to hard assets, it's pretty clear that the aggressive easing stance by the Fed is translating into dollar depreciation as you'd expect. The issue is when you're looking at currencies, every central bank in the world is basically pursuing easy monetary policy and devaluing their currencies relative to stuff and hard assets. And so, the U.S. dollar may be the cleanest shirt of the dirty fiat basket, but it's definitely going to get down against hard assets.